School bus cameras have already caught tens of thousands of drivers in Florida blowing past bus stop arms. But tonight, I-Team investigative reporter Katie Legrone exposing a serious problem with citations, tickets being issued in Hillsborough County. Drivers who believe that they were unfairly ticketed and don't have any way to take their case to court, raising the question, if there's no justice, is it really all just about the money?
If the wheels on the bus go round and round, new school bus cameras like these are going. The motive?
We just want our kids to be able to get on the bus and go to school safely, and that's it.
The problem?
Sounds like from your perspective that these cameras are set up for the driver to fail.
I would certainly say that.
Lars Larson says the cameras that supposedly nabbed him blowing past a stopped school bus in Hillsborough County recently.
I saw the video, I'm like, okay, you got me, right?
Got it wrong.
And then I played it through, and I'm like, hold on.
Larson is one of more than 55,000 drivers in Hillsborough who in just the first 4.5 months of the school year has been cited for passing a school bus while it's stopped for kids. The digital eye is part of a new state law that allows school districts to record drivers ignoring these signs to stop. So far, cameras are equipped on buses in at least 4 Florida school districts and have caught tens of thousands of drivers in the act.
I mean, it's absurd, right?
That's because a closer look at the video of Larson's violation has this father of 5 fuming. In one video, Larson, who's driving this white Yukon, appears to approach the front side of the bus a moment after it stopped. Then in this wider fisheye view, you can see his SUV is already parallel to the bus as the bus's stop sign begins to deploy.
I would say the stop arm is probably in line with the handle of my door. So we're getting into like the peripheral where I would not hold any driver accountable, because if something was there, you would have hit it, right?
Larson's citation has him on the hook $225.
I want these kids to be safe. I want us to have safe neighborhoods, but I also want to not have to deal with getting something in the mail, threatening to fine me for something and if you go back and look at the footage, I didn't do.
So you think it's a money grab?
Oh, 100%, it's a money grab.
Absolutely.
David Walker agrees. This is him turning out of his subdivision just as a school bus begins to stop. And in this view, it appears he's already turning as the stop arm begins to deploy.
I got my own ticket for doing absolutely nothing.
I don't know why I got that ticket.
Karen Coring also fired up after she believes her violation video shows how these cameras give little leeway to drivers.
I didn't illegally pass the school bus. That was my first thought, like in the midst of the stop sign going on. And I'm halfway past the stop sign. Even at that point, I didn't even pay no attention to that.
Karen, David, and Lars plan to challenge their fines.
I'm going to fight to the end.
I have contacted the ticket clinic.
I'm actually going to submit today the paperwork.
But we've discovered they'll face another problem. Out of more than 55,000 citations issued in the county, we've discovered so far not a single one has been challenged in court.
Turns out here in Hillsborough County, the legal process that should give drivers a chance to defend themselves isn't up and rolling like these school bus cameras are. So drivers who want to challenge a citation in court can't and don't even know it.
That's just obnoxious, right?
How this happened remains unclear, but the school district, the sheriff's office, which reviews the video and issues the violation, and the camera company, Bus Patrol, all get a chunk of the money each time a driver pays a fine. None of them would talk to us about it on camera. In statements, Bus Patrol, which gets a $65 cut from every paid violation, said anyone who receives a citation for illegally passing a school bus should be afforded all due process remedies provided under law. Well, the school district, which generated more than $1 million in revenue from paid fines in December alone, told us, quote, the court system is finalizing their part of the process.
Is it fair for this program to even be up and running and issuing violations, $225 violations to drivers, if the system is not fully operating?
No, it's not fair at all, because it's taking away a fundamental right that we all have, is to be able to make sure that we confront our accusers.
Jesse Philippe is a traffic attorney and says operating cameras to catch drivers without having the system already in place for them to contest a violation is illegal. We showed him some of the video from our drivers.
If you look at the video, you can see that the driver was already past the stop sign before it actually went out. So that would be one of the prime examples why you need to essentially have a board in place to contest these tickets.
According to the school district, drivers who contest are not required to pay for the violation at this time, and their due process has been protected.
The intent of the statute was to protect children. Now it seems like the intent of the statute is to fine people without the ability to even contest it. So to me, it is a money grab.
To your point, it's like, what would you say to the county of Hillsborough? You know, it's like, I'll see you in court, but I guess I can't yet.
Just under 1,500 drivers have opted to contest their citations here in Hillsborough County. And while we don't know if this program is really making things safer for students yet, here's what we do know. It is generating a lot of money. In December, the Hillsborough County School District collected just over $1 million from paid fines. That's more than 20 times what it collected just 2 months earlier.
Tonight, questions over those new school bus cameras in Florida now mounting months after investigative journalist Katie Legrone was the first to expose how drivers caught on camera illegally passing a school bus have no way to challenge their fines.
And new tonight, Katie discovers new details about the hastily rolled out program, including a class action lawsuit.
Still hanging over your head.
Yeah, right?
Nearly 3 months after he was fined for illegally passing a stopped school bus in Tampa, Lars Larson is still waiting for his chance to fight the $225 citation.
How much longer do you think you're going to have to wait before you have your day in court?
I don't know, but I'm going to keep moving, right? They know where I live.
Larson is one of more than 65,000 drivers in Hillsborough County alone who since August was cited after new school bus cameras captured him passing a school bus while it was stopped for kids. The camera is part of a new state law that lets districts record drivers who ignore these signs to stop. In Larson's case, he believes the video, which was included in his citation online, proves he did nothing wrong. That's his white Yukon, which he says was already parallel to the front of the school bus as the stop arm began to deploy, making it impossible for him to stop in time.
I firmly believe I did not break the law. And I would also firmly believe that there's other people out there like me.
In fact, Larson is one of more than 2,000 drivers in Hillsborough County who believe they were cited unfairly and want to contest their violation in court, but can't because, as we first reported last month, the school district, the sheriff's office, and Bus Patrol, the company behind these cameras, hastily rolled out this program without having the legal process in place for drivers to fight back.
So you think it's a money grab?
Oh, 100%. It's a money grab.
This was Larson back in February when we were first to expose the state's new bus camera quandary. 6 weeks later, we've learned he and others trying to challenge their fines in the county remain stuck in limbo.
Waiting for, snail mail, right?
They're not alone. In Miami-Dade, where Bus Patrol also has cameras rolling on school buses, drivers who want to contest their citation are waiting for a court date, too, that has yet to come. This lack of driver rights now at the center of a recently filed class action lawsuit.
It violates your constitutional rights to a hearing, to your day in court, right? Because if these people are just getting fined without any real process, it ultimately ends up being revenue over rights for these drivers.
And when it comes to revenue, records show these new school bus cameras are generating a ton of it. In the first 6 months of the school year, more than 200,000 violations have been issued in Miami-Dade and Hillsborough County, where Bus Patrol is operating, generating more than $20 million in paid fines just in Miami-Dade, and another $6 million in Hillsborough County. Paid fines are divvied up between the school district that operates the buses, the sheriff's office who reviews and distributes the tickets, and Bus Patrol, which gets the largest chunk of the cash. Upwards of 70% of every paid fine in Florida.
Why should the public not see this as a money grab?
That 70% it sounds like a salacious number.
Steve Randazzo is Chief Growth Officer at Bus Patrol.
Bus Patrol is fronting all of the capital to the tune of millions of dollars.
Why is Bus Patrol operating cameras when you know that drivers, at least here in Florida, don't yet have the opportunity to challenge violations in court?
We're working really, really hard behind the scenes with the clerks of court, both in Miami and Hillsborough and other counties, to get those hearings underway.
Weren't you supposed to have all of this in place before the cameras started rolling?
With all due respect, Katie, the partnership by law through the contract is with the school district and the law enforcement agency. We unfortunately can't tell the chief judge or the clerk of courts to schedule or calendar a hearing.
No one from the 13th Judicial Court in Hillsborough County would explain why the process to contest a violation in court has not been set up yet. In a text, a spokesperson only said, "Nothing new to update you on." In a court statement from Miami, a spokesperson blamed the legislature for allowing these bus cameras, but not providing the courts with the money to hear challenges like Larson's.
At the end of the day, we all just want to move on with our lives, not sit around waiting for our next court date.
But for now, Lars Larson is doing just that. After a new program intended to keep students safe appears to have been rushed to roll with no signs of stopping.
No one's arguing kids' safety, school safety. I think the complaint here is a system that's not fully functional.
Bus Patrol is expanding its territory. School bus cameras will be coming to Brevard and Broward counties, with others still in the works.
Investigative reporter Katie Legrone continuing to follow through on her investigation into Florida's new school bus cameras. They've already generated tens of millions of dollars in fines without letting drivers actually defend themselves in court.
I don't know why I got that ticket.
Katie was the first reporter in the state to uncover these problems, and now she learns one major county just suspended the program altogether. This while another county is fueling new concerns that its cameras are less about student safety and really all about the money.
They wasn't dropping no children off there, though. I know that.
Cleo Davis drove past these railroad tracks in Polk County when he noticed the school bus headed toward them.
I seen the school bus, but it appears to me that it was stopping at the railroad crossing.
Davis didn't think anything of it and kept driving since buses are legally required to stop before crossing tracks. A few weeks later, he received this in the mail, a $225 notice of violation for failing to stop for a school bus with its stop signal out.
I'm like, hey, why am I getting a ticket at the railroad crossing?
Pictures on his violation show his car, the tracks, and the school bus as its stop arm begins to deploy. Video clearly shows him driving past the stop bus with its stop arm out. Still, Davis was dumbfounded.
I was trying to understand why I got the ticket in the first place at a railroad crossing, because I didn't notice any kids being picked up or dropped off.
He's fighting it, but the process hasn't been easy.
I had to go to their website and get a form, and this form didn't really get me anywhere to actually contest it.
That's because despite Florida law that clearly states bus camera fines must include instruction on how to contest a violation, we've discovered in Polk County, drivers who get fined for passing a stopped school bus can't challenge it until after 30 days, when the $225 violation turns into a $329 uniform traffic citation. So drivers who choose to fight back are not only getting hit with higher costs, but they could potentially face stiffer penalties, including license suspension.
I felt like it was really strong-arm robbery, like somebody was robbing me, because first of all, I didn't think that I should have received a violation in the first place, and now it's like they're making me pay something that I don't think I really owe.
Just days after Davis got his violation, he got another one for the same thing in the same spot at nearly the same exact time.
A few minutes apart.
Polk is one of 3 Florida counties that have equipped its school buses with these new cameras to catch drivers blowing past buses that are stopped for kids. The goal, protect students. The problem, since these cameras started rolling in the fall, so too has the controversy surrounding them.
Oh, 100%. It's a money grab.
Back in February, we spoke to drivers in Hillsborough County who believed they were unfairly fined.
I don't know why I got that ticket.
Then we discovered drivers couldn't challenge their citations because courts haven't been set up to hear appeals. Same problem in Miami-Dade, where the sloppily rolled out program is so fraught with issues. Last week, the sheriff suspended the cameras altogether. Since the beginning of the school year, school bus cameras have resulted in well over 200,000 citations, generating a total of nearly $30 million in paid fines. That's just in the first half of the school year. In Polk County, more than 11,000 violations have been issued since the fall, generating more than $1.3 million. Most Polk County violations are paid without driver challenges.
What would you like to do today?
Defend myself.
All right, everybody raise your right hand, please.
David Uriah is one of just a few dozen who opted to contest.
The school bus was parked on the other side of the road.
But before this day in court, he had to wait until his $225 violation turned into a $329 traffic ticket.
We'll give you 60 days to pay that.
He, like all the others in the county so far, lost his appeal.
By law, you should have had an opportunity to contest the notice of violation before it got upgraded to a uniform traffic citation.
In an ideal world, the way you would like to see things work, that would be perfect. But I don't make the rules.
Who makes the rules on these new bus camera fines in Polk County and why drivers can't contest them sooner depends on who you ask. The school district points to the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office points back to the school district. And the camera vendor, Vera Mobility, points to lawmakers who they say they're working with to align the program with, quote, how automated enforcement programs should and can be executed. Despite repeated requests, neither the school district, the sheriff's office, or Vera Mobility would discuss the issues we uncovered on camera. But in a statement, a Vera Mobility spokesperson said they, quote, recognize the current school bus stop arm legislation should be modified.
It's not like it stopped on the corner.
Cleo Davis will have his day in court next week for passing a school bus on 2 different occasions he thought was stopped for tracks. What we've confirmed really is a student bus stop.
If they're dropping off kids here, that's a bad idea.
And could now leave him $660 in the red for breaking the law, then exercising his right to defend himself.
What does that make you think about this whole program?
I think it's a money grab.
Despite our findings, Polk County and Hillsborough continue to issue violations to drivers, knowing drivers can't properly fight back. Legislation is in the works to try to fix some of these issues.
Investigative reporter Katie Legrone was the first to uncover drivers could not challenge their tickets from Florida's new school bus camera program. And now, months after Katie first broke this story, lawmakers just passed new legislation to fix it.
The wheels of change are in motion for drivers who believe they were unfairly caught on camera passing a Florida school bus while it was stopped for kids. In quietly filed legislation that got the green light from lawmakers this week, drivers will soon be able to challenge the fine without having to go to court or pay more just to defend themselves. The fix comes just 3 months after we were first in the state to uncover how the state's new school bus camera program was leaving some drivers fined with no way to fight back. The program, aimed at protecting students, lets counties cite drivers who are caught on camera blowing past a bus with its stop arm out. Since the fall, 3 Florida counties have equipped its buses with these extra eyes. Together, more than 200,000 violations have been issued, totaling nearly $30 million in paid fines. But back in February, we found drivers who said they were unfairly cited.
I had exited my subdivision while the bus was trying to stop.
I'm past the driver of the bus when the light comes on.
Then we discovered in Hillsborough and Miami-Dade, drivers had no way to appeal the $225 fine because the courts hadn't been set up to hear challenges.
100%, it's a money grab.
What would you like to do today?
Defend myself.
In Polk County, we found drivers who fight back have to wait until their $225 violation becomes a $329 uniform traffic citation.
They wasn't dropping no children off there, though. I know that.
Cleo Davis got 2 in the same spot at this railroad track.
Why I got the ticket in the first place at a railroad crossing.
He's challenging them and now faces nearly $700 in fines.
I felt like it was really strong-arm robbery.
The legislature's intent was good.
Earlier this week, Polk County Sheriff, whose agency reviews and distributes school bus fines for the county and takes a piece of the profits, defended the program but acknowledged its problems.
People don't like the current appeal process, and quite frankly, I don't either. I don't think you should have to pay an extra $100 to appeal your citation. But I didn't create the law.
Now, this newly passed legislation will not only extend how long drivers have to contest a fine from 30 days to 60, it also lets school districts handle the appeals process instead of local courts, though that could raise some questions since school districts also profit from every paid fine. Vera Mobility, which operates school bus cameras in Polk County and gets the largest chunk of the profits, called this latest lawmaker action, quote, an important step forward in ensuring both accountability and fairness. While Bus Patrol, the camera vendor for Hillsborough and Miami-Dade, called it a major win for Florida's families, school districts, and public safety.
The bill now heads to the governor's office for his final signature. If approved, this new law takes effect July 1st.
We begin here tonight following through on efforts to appeal school bus camera violations. Welcome to Tampa Bay 28 News at 6. I'm Wendy Ryan.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Paul Legrone. Great to be with you here tonight. You know, for months now, our I-team has been listening to your frustrations. Drivers telling us they were unfairly ticketed and then telling us there was no real way to dispute the ticket. And now fueling more frustration, the process to challenge their ticket is appearing to be another one-sided cash grab.
No citizen should have to assume that they're going to a kangaroo court, that there's a foregone conclusion, and it was just a waste of time to even pursue your due process rights.
Investigative reporter Katie Legrone has been taking your questions right to the people in power and getting you answers and results.
New tonight, she's speaking with a judge to find out why almost 90% of drivers who decide to fight back lose.
By now, you've probably heard of Florida's controversial new school bus cameras.
I was very upset, like, that can't be me. And
Alicia Clark is one of hundreds of thousands of drivers ticketed in Florida after a bus camera caught her passing a school bus with its stop arm deployed.
I'm an assistant principal at a K-8 school.
You're an assistant principal?
Yes, ma'am.
So running past a school bus
would not be something I would ever do. I would be the person honking if I saw somebody not stopping for a school bus.
Alicia isn't just frustrated with being cited for passing a school bus she thought was parked near her school. She's now questioning the process to fight back.
It didn't make me feel like there was any due process, actually. They let me speak, and then they read me the statute again, and then they said I had to pay it. I feel very trapped with this.
It was at the point to where I could either slam on my brakes and have someone come up right behind me.
Jason Penny also tried to appeal his $225 violation after he passed a school bus that was stopped on a rural highway. He also feels like the appeals process was set up for him to lose.
No citizen should have to assume that they're going to a kangaroo court, that there's a foregone conclusion, and it was just a waste of time to even pursue your due process rights.
Do you feel like the statute is fair and gives drivers a reasonable ability to challenge their citations?
I think that the hearing that we afford is fair.
Judge John Van Lanningham is an administrative law judge hearing these appeals for Hillsborough County.
You don't recognize that I'm making exercise reasonable judgment?
But no, the statute doesn't have that in there for me to do.
He admits the state's new school bus camera law makes it difficult for drivers who appeal to win.
It is what it is. Yeah, a little more sympathetic than many, but it's still a violation I have to find.
Even if they have reasonable explanations for their actions.
I was afraid he wasn't going to be able to stop.
It doesn't give us any discretion to do anything but uphold the citation or void the citation. It's either supported by the greater weight of the evidence or it's not.
Should you have more discretion?
That's really a policy decision that I don't want to weigh in on.
Rolled out last school year, the intent of Florida's new school bus camera program is to keep students safe, but it's been plagued with problems since the start. First, many drivers complained to us that they were being unfairly fined.
I would say the stop arm is probably in line with the handle of my door.
Then we discovered these cameras started rolling without a way for drivers to dispute their $225 tickets.
Are they just handing out tickets, expecting people to pay it?
What can't
can't be disputed. These cameras are generating a ton of cash.
Well over $40 million in paid fines in just a few counties.
I felt like it was really strong-arm robbery.
And since appeals started in September, nearly 90% of citations have been upheld.
Liable for the offense.
Ruling of liable.
It's all fueling suspicion if these cameras are really about student safety or money.
That end up being $270. People talk about these programs being a cash grab. I didn't want to be that cynical until I had this experience. And it's not the program itself that's the cash grab. I think that it's the hearing and contesting portion that's the cash grab.
When it comes right down to it, we have fairly limited authority in terms of what we can do as a remedy.
The judge tells us he could have more discretion over these cases, but that would require a change in the law, and that could only come from the legislature. I'm IT investigator Katie Legrone, Tampa Bay 28.